Well, hello. Uh, it's been a while since I got the opportunity to kind of break down my picks for the Masters Championship this year, and it's been a long time since we've had a major championship. Uh, you know, Long 8 months since the PGA Championship that Rory McIlroy won last fall. Last year, as far as the major championships go, I thought it was a pretty good year. Obviously, there would be a couple years I'd rank ahead of it, but obviously probably the best major last year I would say would be the 2012 Masters, and then followed closely by the 2012 British, in my opinion. And the U.S. Open and the PGA were pretty good. The PGA was a runaway again by McIlroy, but everything works out. So, in making selections this week, boy, I'll be the first one to say I am extremely excited about this tournament. It has so many different possibilities about what could actually go down, and for the first time in a long time, I think that if you're not picking Tiger Woods to win this week, I'd kind of want to know why. Now, is it a guarantee that he's going to win the thing? No. But do I think that for the first time in a long time that he's got probably the majority percentage of the votes to win? I think I would say he does. He's won 3 times. He's won 6 times in the last year. Augusta, he's won 4 times. If he doesn't win, it's not a guarantee, because the man has not won a major in 5 years, since the 2008 United States Open at Torrey Pines. Now, if he wants to get back on the chase, finally get his 15th major, I think this would be the week to do it. A week from right now, around this time, a little bit before this time, we're talking about Tiger Woods will have won his 15th major title. That is an exciting thought. But you want other possibilities. Say, who else could win this championship? And I've got some ideas on that as well. Ernie Els was interviewed about this week. Probably not a lot of people picking him this week, but I tell you what, he's had a strong record at Augusta National. Obviously, the reigning British Open champion. That would be, again, a pretty big shock to see him win a 5th major championship at Augusta this week. But don't be too shocked if he does make a run at it. He's saying that he's going to give it all systems go, and he's only had a couple starts on the PGA Tour this year. Okay, some other people that I think are possibilities. Obviously, Phil Mickelson, and always say Phil Mickelson, but I think there are a lot of people that are going to be on the Phil Mickelson bandwagon. Now, this year he's been a very Phil-like year. He did win quite in a great fashion earlier in the year, shooting 28 under par. And then he kind of fizzled it for a while, and then he had another pretty decent showing a couple weeks ago. But if there is one tournament I expect him to show up at, typically 9 times out of 10, his performance at Augusta National has been, right there in the top 10. Well, there's been a few years where that hasn't been the case, but typically in last year he gave it a good run to win the thing, and I think he ended up tied for 3rd or tied for 4th, something like that. So, I wouldn't be shocked if he could make another run and win his 4th Green Jacket, his fifth major title this week. That would not shock me either. You're talking about players that the general public is not going to know that I expect to perform well this week. Russell Henley, Michael Thompson coming off strong finishes. Brandt Snedeker, I would have said, he seems to have hurt his rib, and I don't know how fully recovered he is from that, but we'll see. Keegan Bradley's been playing pretty well. The list goes on and on. Bubba Watson, I'm almost too concerned that he's taken his major championship victory too seriously, and he probably still has not recovered. And all the media swarming so hard for somebody to repeat as Masters champion. But I mean, the man's so gifted. Who knows what could happen? Schwartzel, Woesthuizen. Again, you can't root out any possibilities. As far as older players that could give Augusta a run, it's just so long. It's hard for any of the older champions to compete. In this one, it seems like you see those older players pop up more at like a British Open, where it requires more, finesse when the older players have developed that, as opposed to some of the younger players. Well, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, well, do you go with, Lee Westwood, Luke Donald? They haven't won a major. Sergio Garcia, again, hasn't won a major. Adam Scott, again, strong finishes. Hasn't got it done yet. Very close. I don't know. It's just one of those things you just got to stop and you got to think about it for a long time. We don't have that long. It's going to start in a few days. Bo Van Pelt. I'd be a fool not to mention the man's name. I wouldn't be surprised. He's not had a great year so far. If he could get it all together at Augusta, that would be pretty exceptional. But if you want my honest opinion, and maybe this will be fortunate, because again, like always, I'll be pulling for Phil Mickelson. But you want somebody that honestly thinks, I think that Tiger Woods is going to win this week. So that's going to be my prediction. And what I'm looking for, though, is a great tournament. And what would be amazing is if, Mickelson, McIlroy, Woods could all be right there at the end. Golf needs that kind of action. It's been a long time. It's usually like your David versus your Goliath type fight matchup. I want to see the cream of the crop in the golf world go at it. I mean, the more people in there, the better. That's what kind of made the 2011 tournament kind of, pop and buzz, even though the guy that ended up winning it was kind of a no-namer, Charles Schwartzel. It was still a very good tournament. I wouldn't let the person that actually won ruin the tournament for you. It was still a very good tournament. 2010, that emotional victory by Phil. 2012, Bubba Watson. 2009, I think did I break a TV over that? Kenny Perry blading that chip shot at 17 to lose to Cabrera. Yeah, I think I was pretty mad about that. That was Kenny Perry's tournament to win, and Cabrera somehow, that really makes me mad. 2008 Immelman, that was, it's forgettable. Not one of the best. I mean, list goes on. And of course, you've got Zach Johnson in 07, Mickelson in 06, Tiger's victory in 05 will live in infamy, as well as Phil Mickelson's first major in 04. Okay, so I'd like to see your feedback as always, and good kind of talking to you.